Welcome to Local SEO Today. I'm Roger Murphy.
And I'm John Vong.
Today we wanted to speak to business owners or entrepreneurs that want to get into the industry, John, that's the tree industry.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it's a massive industry all over North America.
Yes.
You've got people that are tree cutters, you got arborists, maybe even property managers, etc.
And then there's also the municipal tree companies as well that focus on tender bids.
So if you're attending our podcast today, what we want to do is give you a few ideas in terms of how to market your business, because the truth is once you've taken care of a customer, you've got to replace that customer, John.
And the challenge in your industry is they only want to use you when there's an emergency or some sort of need that's required.
Yeah.
And they may not need you for a couple more years down the line, right? So how do you replace that, or how do you cultivate new clients?
That's right.
Right.
So, and it is the strategy of a steady stream of people that are looking for your service. How do you reach them? And should we talk traditional, John, in terms of what it used to be and what even still some things are today?
I mean, every solid business requires good referral, word of mouth, right? And we hear this a lot. A lot of our new clients tell us that they rely strictly on word of mouth, right? But what happens when people move, when people get older?
Sure.
There's a lot of things that you need to do to replace those new clients, older clients, right?
And to your point, referral customers are the backbone of a business, but that may not be enough for your business to grow. So strategies of how do we get you, or how do you get more ready to buy customers?
Yeah, so traditionally there were print media, right? So the local newspapers, local flyers, local printed directories like the Yellow Pages phone book. So in terms of even those value pack, right?
And
magazines,
door hangers, all sorts of things.
Anything that's printed that went to people's home. The challenge is today people are bombarded with advertising, right? And I don't know about yourself, but I have a sign that says no solicitation or no flyers, right? And I mean, most of the homes today, and even apartment buildings and condos, there's a stack that gets dropped off in the lobby. How many of the people actually pick that up?
Yeah. So the truth is the traditional ways of doing business and getting those customers is changing. It didn't change overnight, and all of these things we talk about in terms of flyers and the different print medias, John, it's not that they've gone away, but their effectiveness, or we call ROI, return on investment, is not what it used to be.
Yeah, and then there's also not just the printed media, but then there's the traditional trade shows. So if you have the home shows, the local, any show where you're going to be part of a community, right? Then of course there's the radio, which is more mass media, but it impacts a larger group of people, right? And then of course you can have local sponsorships, local team building, things that you can actually sponsor, hockey teams, baseball teams, etc.
Yeah. So these are all channels. The reality is even there's two things that diminish its return. One is you've got to give a deal. Pretty much, if you're going to put a flyer out there, it's got to have some sort of promotion on there, which means you as the business owner in the tree business, you got to give some sort of a reduced price. That hurts your bottom line. And then if you're advertising these print medias that don't really generate return, it's a double negative. So, where do people go today?
Yeah, and again, that's a great point. The challenge is you're constantly pushing that message out there. You have to track it to see if it's even effective. And how valuable is that new customer? Are they the type that is always shopping around looking for the next deal? Or are they someone that is going to be more loyal to you? Right? So again, you need to really know what's the lifetime value of that new customer, and over the years you'll kind of realize what is the most effective medium to advertise.
Sure. And what you want is we talk about, and there's two types of buyers out there. The first group, John, we mentioned already, which is the the kind of people that know you already. They've been referred to you. They've dealt with you before. They may have seen your truck, have been told about you by their neighbors. But the other group to help grow your business, and that's where we're getting towards, how do you reach these people? They have an emergency. John, a lot of emergency, I mean, in the tree business, look at the weather-related issues we have today.
Here in Canada, especially.
And everywhere. I mean, storms, tornadoes or hurricanes, ice storms, that's a big thing also.
Yeah.
You never know. You're the business, owner in the tree business. You never know when this is going to happen. But we do know, and we're going to talk about, where do you reach these people when they need your service?
Yeah. So traditionally, what was probably the best source of leads was being in the Yellow Pages print, because if everyone has that phone directory, and when there's an emergency and they know it's a comprehensive list of all local business owners offering that same service, it's complete, and you have options to pick from.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. So size of ads, color, message, etc. So what has gone on the last 10, 15, 20 years? Well, guess what? Google kind of has replaced what Yellow Pages used to be the most effective medium channel, right? Yep. In terms of how the user's now in control, and they have the option of picking which websites they want to go with, either on the 3-pack local part of Google or underneath, right?
The 3-pack, just you mentioned, that is the map. On any given page you see, the first results page, you'll see a map. That is called the 3-pack, and that is a very, very desirable place to try and get your business. Below that is also fantastic. Above it, John, those are what they call ads from Google.
Yes, exactly. So again, it's a pay to play.
For the top part, yes.
So that's where Google generates most of their revenue. It's called advertising, Google AdWords, right? And what you're trying to do is just catch someone's attention so that they have the option to click on your website, and then hopefully that will convert to either a phone call or a form inquiry.
Exactly. So on that page, what you want to do is have a website. We'll back up just for a moment. Google really controls over 90% of all searches, whether it's on the phone, your device, your personal phone device, Android, Apple, whether it's an iPad or computer. Google has really the lion's share of the searches. So only the best websites, John, will make it to the top of a page of Google.
Exactly. So what you're trying to do is have an effective website that provides as much information, content, all the services you offer, so that whoever's looking can actually find what they're looking for and give you a call.
Exactly. If you ever wondered, why is this company A or B or whatever, Jim's Tree Service, why is it always appearing on the highly ranked on Google? It's because that website has answered many of the criteria Google's looking for. They call them signals, or Google calls it signals. You've got to have good content. They're watching how much time people spend on your site. They're looking at what's called the bounce rate, John, which is how quickly they stay or don't stay on a site. Google tracks all this. So you need a comprehensive website that's answering all these questions and all the criteria Google's looking for.
Yeah, user friendliness, speed, the architecture, etc. There's other forms of advertising digitally as well. So if you have a very strong customer base, email marketing is very effective, right? If you want some sort of promo, if you have an offer, spring maintenance season's coming up, remember to get your tree hedged and have some sort of recurring business model in that sense.
Exactly.
But not just email, there's also social media, and that's been very popular the last couple of years as well. So if you are on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, that might be an avenue for you to try to test and see if there's effectiveness in there.
And it's almost, those ones are what's referred to as social media, and those have been really promoted as ways to stay engaged with your client base already. So it's kind of a relationship thing that you want to reach out to people that know you already and share you with their friends.
Yeah, and there's so many different types of advertising, and it's going to be different for every single business owner. And we're just going to touch upon just things that you may want to consider. And what we believe in is the best one today would be really just making sure you have a very compelling website that answers all the questions that Google's looking for, ranking very well, where you can actually just go after ready to buy customers because they found you directly on the map or organically. You can definitely pay for that spot if you don't want to work on an effective website. But in the long term, what you're looking for is just steady leads.
Yes, steady stream of calls, emails, and appointments. That's what you're looking for. Yeah.
Exactly. And remember, there's differences between even your competitors as well. So figure out what your unique selling proposition is, right? Do you want to focus on residential? Do you want to go after property managers, commercial, industrial, or even government work, right? Tender bids. But whatever your target market is, figure out who your ideal customers are, your demographics, figure out the regions you want to target. There's so many things. Each tree company has they're different factors,
it's called your unique selling proposition. What is different about you? Is it how fast you can get to them because you're all about emergency? Maybe it's the tree. Maybe you're an arborist, you've got certifications, and you're all about tree health and how to keep your trees healthy. So find what your strengths are that you want to go after, and really let people know this is why you should give us a try, and give your company a try for the tree work that needs to get done.
And I think ultimately what we're talking about is just running an effective, very strong business, right? Be a good business person, be a great company, right? What I mean by that is answer your phones nicely. And I know everyone has a problem, so if they're reaching out to you, they probably need your service, right? And then make sure you promise when you say something, you actually back it up.
Follow through. Yep.
And make sure you start building a solid reputation in the industry, right?
Yep. And we haven't talked about reviews.
And that's very important, right?
Ask for reviews. You'll see that on the Google My Business pages. There's Yelp reviews. Facebook, you put reviews on your website itself. But ask your clients, build reviews, because we live in a world now of people want to see, they want social proof of you and how good you are about what you're doing. So run a good business, respond to your customers, respond to all positive, respond to all negative reviews, show them that you are an upstanding business owner that takes care of their clients.
And there's also other directories out there as well, not just Google. So there's HomeStars here in Canada.
Yep.
There's also Yellow Pages. There's Trusted Pros. There's so many different vertical directories, right? House.
Yes.
And you don't know how people are searching. Every person is unique, right? And you may have to try different avenues and see what's best for your business, and what works, because every vertical, every type of advertising has a different type of demographic that you're going to be targeting, right?
It could be an older couple that likes to have their trees trimmed every few years to make their yard look nice. Could be someone that's they live in a part of town where they have old, mature trees and there's ice storms and wind storms coming, and they just need someone to help them, so that tree doesn't fall on a house, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So hopefully all this helped. I mean, what we're really trying to educate you on is there's a lot of opportunity.
Yes.
There's a lot of different ways to advertise, and my suggestion is try them all.
Yes. Yep.
And test it, track it, and run a solid business.
Yep. So run a good business, get your reviews. Again, it's to your point, John, try these different channels of getting your message out there. But again, run a good business. That gets your name out there and builds your personal brand.
And make sure you have a solid website, because that's the medium of choice today. It used to be just a telephone number.
Right.
But now a website can give you so much more information. Right?
We should just mention too, get your trucks nicely graphic too, because that's a traveling billboard. That's a very good one also, because it's going to drive them to see you. When they see you, it's going to drive them to one of these other channels, whether it's the Google or whether it's Facebook, or they just look you up on Google. They say, I saw that name, I want to find
brand awareness, definitely.
Brand awareness. So that's another channel also. Okay. But thank you for your time today. Thanks for watching and listening to this. John, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Roger.
See you again at Local SEO Search today.